Hey guys, this is going to be a quick tutorial showing you how to color grade like Jon Olsson. If you don't know who he is, check out the link in the description below, as that will link you to his YouTube. He's basically a professional skier who vlogs every day, and he pairs with another guy called Marcus. Everyone asks them how they color grade, and they haven't really released a video on it, so I'm going to show you guys how to do it. What I did was I ripped a video from their YouTube, and when they talk about color grading. Take a look.
So that was like probably one of the biggest things, and then also that you color graded your stuff. Yeah. Like most of the stuff that came in were completely neutral, and I like things that are perfected and graded.
So yeah, they're talking about color grading, and in this you can see it's very saturated. All of the lumetri scopes are very saturated. But in here they release their grade where it's nice and flat. So this is what you want to aim for when you're shooting. If you can have a flat setting on your camera, set it to that. So this is a very nice image. It's nice and flat, not really contrasty, not too much saturation. So from here I analyzed this scope, and it looks very saturated with the images. All the channels look nice, but what I really wanted to do is compare the two. So I set up something like this, where the flat image was next to the graded image, and I just kind of looked at it like this. So I'm comparing the two, and I see that from the flat image, this is more saturated. The highlights are more vibrant, all this stuff. So what I did was I pretty much separated them in their channels so I can individually look at their scopes. If I delete the flat channel, you can see that lumetri scope on the left side disappears. And if I delete the right channel, you can see that the right side. So I'm going to compare these two, try to get them very similar. So what I want to do first is click on the flat image and then open up lumetri color. You can do this in any program, just follow these steps. So let's open up basic correction. So originally I was just gonna play around with this stuff and move it around to see what it does. So if you increase the exposure, it actually drags those up, but we're not gonna do anything with that. What I found was that we want to first start off with going into the color wheels, and we're gonna mess around with all these colors. So if we drag this saturation exposure thing, we can see that our bottom line is moving like that. So we want to match those up just like that. Go to our midtones, drag this up a little bit, so our blue, and as we're dragging that up, the bottom's getting dragged, so let's drag the saturation of the shadows back down, and let's drag this highlights up a tiny bit so that blue matches. So as you can see, it's starting to match, but this red is getting a little bit higher, that blue's there, but now we can go into the basic correction, and from here, we're going to add a little bit of contrast, because I think they have contrast in their thing. I like whole numbers, so let's go to 5. And then highlights, let's see what dragging that does. That drags that around. We don't want to probably make that at 3. And then there's shadows. I think they crunch the shadows a little bit, as you can see with this red. So I'm going to crunch that down a little bit, and then I'm going to drag my highlights up again to pull that green up. Drag the shadow up a little bit, and then the whites, just like that. So we're just kind of matching these around. So as you can see, we're already starting to get that effect. Now you can see that this is a little bit less saturated. So I played around with saturation and vibrance. I found out that saturation, you want it to be up just a tiny bit. So we'll go with like 120. And then vibrance, I brought down a little bit. So open up like a creative mode and just bring that vibrance down to like -5. So looking at these images, they're very similar. I can see that this one's a little bit more exposed, so all we have to do is go to basic correction, change this to like 0.01. I really don't want to change it too much. Let's do 0.02. So as you can see, these images are very similar, and that is pretty much how you grade like Jon Olsson. It's so simple. There's no LUTS used. There's no crazy filter that you have to put on and overlay this stuff. It's literally just matching their video so that their channels are similar. So have fun with this. Maybe add a little bit of faded film to it, but like all you have to do is match the lumetri scopes, and you can color grade like Jon Olsson. Thanks for checking out the channel, guys. If you give it a thumbs up and like and comment and subscribe, I love the support. See ya.